Hello and welcome to New Filmmakers Los Angeles in partnership with Movie Maker magazine. My name is Danny DeLillo. We're here at the South Park Center. I'm delighted to join with Henry with his fantastic film, Chuck and Fern. Let's take a look at the clip. Henry, welcome to the New Filmmakers LA family.
I'm so excited to be here in the fam, period. This is truly like the festival I wanted to get into the most, so I'm very happy.
Well, we'll never let you go. And, you know, it's not your first time because you were actually acting in a film here. So it's your first time, obviously, directing your first film, right?
Yeah, this is my first film I've ever directed, like ever. Yeah.
I don't believe you.
It's been a whole beautiful journey. Yeah. So this is actually New Filmmakers LA. It is me, New Filmmaker.
Oh, well, this is, I mean, amazing. I mean, you thought you'd done 30 films because you look, I mean, it was a fantastic film. But listen, I've got so many questions, but for those that haven't seen it, tell us a little about the story.
Yeah, Chuck and Fern is a video game fantasy comedy about two game characters who want to go about their daily program lives, and they're not doing too hotly because this kid that's playing them is not helping them get past level 1. And then they realize that the kid that's playing this game lives in an abusive household. Yeah. So they need to figure out how to rescue this kid out of the house. Yeah. And it's really about, like, for me, video games saved my life. Like, they were a way of escapism. And I think they're such a high art form. Yeah. And it's just how art can help you escape into these worlds to feel better and even inspire courage and change.
Yeah, I'm so glad you said all of that because, you know, there's obviously a very, very fun, childlike elements to this that was great, but there's also some kind of, very serious element to it as well. And video games provide so much therapy for many people as well as being entertained, and I think it was displayed so well in this film. And where did, for you, I mean, you obviously mentioned it saved your life, and it's so good that film can do that, and creativeness can kind of do that as well. It's like therapy. But where was that moment for you about turning this idea into a film? How did that come about?
Well, I have two moments. The first moment is my mom and I played The Legend of Zelda growing up. Like, the movie's heavily inspired by Zelda.
Yeah, I was feeling it. I
was like, we're going to do this and we're going to do this, but we're not going to get sued because it's going to be very different. So my mom and I would play Zelda growing up, and that's what made me become a storyteller, video games. And then the second thing is I was watching Toy Story and having a good time, drinking a little bit. Yeah. It was during the pandemic, because what else are you going to do? Yeah. But I was like, what if, like, what if Woody and Buzz saw Andy deal with, like, real stuff? Like, how would they deal with this?
Clever.
And then I was like, oh, well, gaming is the thing that saved me. Like, so how would somebody who lives in a TV screen, like in a game, deal with not being in the physical space? Yeah. They'd have to figure out some way to, like, get a message across to this kid. So amazing. Yeah.
You did something very good with drinking in the pandemic. You got this amazing film. There you go.
It was originally a play in 2019. Wow. And then during the pandemic, I transitioned, and I was sitting there, and I transitioned it into that.
I'm like, when's the video game coming out? Like, my goodness.
I mean, please, immediately.
Right?
Let's get this
money. Let's get it on the go. Yeah, seriously. I fell in love with your actors. I just love the energy of Chuck and Fern. I'm really, really, really special. So wonderful to see. But all of your actors were really great. How did you go about that whole casting process? Because you got some super talent in there.
My God, Matteo Mipinduzi-Mott, who plays Fern. He's so good. So good. So he was in the play in 2019, and I told him, I said, I'm going to make this a movie one day. And he's like, yes, let's do it. Fast forward to 2023, and I'm like, I got money, let's do this. He's like, great. And then my casting director, Alan Luna, helped us get Lorena Jorge. And the craziest thing is, Mateo's like, did you cast Lorena? I was like, yeah. And he goes, I wanted to act with her for so long. And then when we sat in the room and they were reading, I was like, this is like fireworks. Like, the energy. And this was via Zoom when we were doing this, because Lorena lives in New York, Mateo's in California. Yeah. And it was just like, immediately like fireworks. It was incredible. And then Adalgisa, who plays the mom, like, her audition was just so beautiful. Yeah. She's not on screen too much, right? But the amount of time she is on screen, you can feel her love and care and pain and this, like, deep connection with her son, who's played by Grayson Fox.
Yes.
And Grayson, that's his first movie. Great. What? Yes, that's great. Like, it's just been the most.
Wow.
So the thing that blew
me, found a star right there.
Grayson was amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. The thing that blew my mind was Grayson was found via an Instagram calling, like somebody, like an Instagram.
Yeah.
A post.
Yeah.
And so it was sent over to Grayson's mom, Melissa. And Melissa was like, I want my son to audition for this. Then she's like messaged me and goes, hey, can my son audition? This is how he looks like. And I was like, oh my God, yes, this is incredible. Like, let's meet up. So we met up and I'm talking to Grayson. And Grayson goes, I read your movie and I understand hard times. And I would like to help kids through hard times.
Oh my goodness. You just ball into a flood of tears? Like, my goodness.
Right. So
wow.
much. And it was just beautiful. And everybody just connected so well on set. It was this beautiful, beautiful, like, day of filming, multiple days of filming.
Wow. Oh, you really got lucky with the cast, not just as talent, but as human beings as well. My goodness. Now, obviously, I can only imagine, like, going into your first film. How was this experience for you? Like, what I mean, what was there any challenges? Like, what was the whole journey for you like going into your first film?
Do we have 8 hours? Yeah. Honestly, this is my first time making a movie, so everything was a challenge.
Yeah.
In terms of, like, I will say, like, what I wanted to make, I always knew, like, where I wanted to go.
Yeah.
But it's just learning, like, how to go about that. You know, it's the first time being a director on set and realizing, like, oh, I have to make all these choices.
Yeah.
But I think the most amazing thing I learned through my friends and being on set was I don't have to make all these choices alone, A, and B, allow the story to become what it wants to become.
Yes.
Like, me seeing Lorena and Mateo acting these scenes out in ways that, like, blew my mind. I was like, we're going in that direction.
Amazing.
And then my costumer coming in and going, can I add this detail to this thing? Like, yes. If everybody's contributing their hearts to the story, then the story becomes bigger than what I had imagined.
Isn't that amazing when you go for that discovery? But it's also great when you've got a director that allows you to kind of have that freedom, especially whether you're an actor or a designer. I mean, you were born to do this. You know, I
want to
right?
just play and have fun.
Yeah. I love the production. Speaking of production design, I really love the production design. Like, I love how I felt like I was in this game, obviously, and the way you set it as well. Like, I'm fascinated. Like, how was that journey in sort of mystifying us with this game that came alive? How was that experience?
Okay, so you asked about, like, challenges. I'm going to give you this specific challenge. So that was Griffith Park where we shot the movie at this golf course where there was redwood trees.
Yeah.
And my producer, I look at him like, can we find redwood trees? He's like, in August in the summer in LA, are you insane? I was like, let's try. So we go to Griffith Park and he's like, we'll see how we can do this. Like, it's pretty pricey. Like, we're just going to take a look at this. And then I was like, I love this place. And Gabe was like, okay, well, I guess we have to go to this place. Well, let me give you 2 other options. Then we go to this place that was nothing but rocks. And there's a black widow spider. And Gabe and I, the producer, looked at each other, we're like, we're not. This is not happening.
In LA?
In LA. It was insane.
Oh, my God.
And then we went to one last spot. And everything was like, you know, very barren. There was no, it didn't feel like a video game, like very alive. And so then we went to Griffith Park and we're like, this is going to be a little more expensive, but we have to do it here. And it just became this beautiful 2 days of shooting in this forest where we were just stepping into this video game. Like, I just felt like we were in a game.
Yeah.
There was also deer and coyotes about. Like, it was gorgeous. Like, it was so nice.
Wow. I mean, goodness me, I felt like I was in a video game watching it. So you really gave us that effect. Now, like, how in your experience in your obviously first film directing with actors, like, how do you work with your actors? What's your kind of process?
Having fun. Like, you can tell, like, the moment, like, a person connects with the character, they're just giving it their everything. So the more I let this person explore what they want, like, the more it's coming from a place of, like, true authenticity.
Yeah.
And it's so beautiful to see. So, like, I'm the kind of director that's like, let's run the scene, here's a little blocking and action. And then they just go into it, and based on how they're feeling, we go based off of that.
Yeah.
Or sometimes we would do a take where I'm like, can I curse on this?
Yeah.
It's like, we're gonna do a fuck it take. Like, do truly whatever the hell you want.
Yeah.
And those fuck it takes are great because they would creates so much more comedy. There's a moment where Lorena as Chuck is dancing with her little bag of pistachios. And I was like, I love this dance. And then the composer was like, I'm going to put some Cuban drums here. I was like, this is great.
Brilliant.
So like all of that happening like creates this like level of play and magic that I'm not planning this. It's just sort of happening.
Oh, I love that, but it's so nice when everyone's got this freedom to play, and I think it's such an important part that we forget in filmmaking because it feels stressful.
Yeah,
there's so much going on, but it's like, you know, it's so you get so much more from it when you've got that freedom. Now firstly, I'm like honored that you said that you wanted to come in, you know, bring your film to this film festival in the first place. But what was it like having your first film baby out there in front of an audience? How was it last night? What was that experience?
Oh my God, it was amazing. Like, it was so lovely. To me, this film means so much, like for both gaming and like the Latino diaspora.
Yeah.
Like, we're not seen in these fantasy huge worlds like this.
Yeah.
Especially in gaming. Like, the Latinos play so many video games.
Yeah.
Like, so many. So it was really great to like be there. And then at the end of it, people came up to me and were like, oh my God, I really love Zelda, or I love Banjo-Kazooie, is one of my favorite games. Like, thank you for making this happen. And it just felt so exciting to see. Yeah, I felt so happy to have made this. And I knew people would connect to it. And it makes me so happy that people connected to it, because gaming, comedy, and fantasy, that's something that the Latino community has, and we do.
Yes, and you know, it was so special being part of our special Latinx program with so many amazing filmmakers. But you know, it's so nice to see like these. Now you've got to make this game. I'm sorry, I don't think we can like just leave you at that. To be honest with you,
we're just gonna make this game immediately.
I fell in love with Chuck and Fern. I'm like, oh my goodness, they're there, they're alive, they're breathing. You know, which is incredible. But listen, there's so many levels to. I'm so glad why you've done that film in terms of just, you know, visibility, representation, your experience, your personal experience. Like, if you could kind of summarize how you want people to leave away from your film, like what did you kind of want your audience to take away from your film?
I wanted a sense of positivity, and whatever is your thing that helps you in your daily life to get through something or that has changed you, hold on to that, because it's the thing that has shaped you in the future. You know, like, it's something you learn to do, whether it's reading a book, playing video games, even crocheting. Like, people find joy in the thing that they love so much. And two things while like showing this movie that blew my mind. Well, I'll talk about Grayson's mom first. When she read the script, and she goes, now I understand how my son sees games. Thank you.
Wow.
So that blew my mind. And then the second thing was, there was this journalist that came up to me like one of the beginning screenings we had like months and months ago. And she goes, thank you for showing me this movie. Like, I feel reconnected to my job again, like feeling like I am of purpose and I am doing something. And I'm like, yeah, like, you might, because Fern is so reluctant to like he's so bored of being a hero.
Yeah.
And the moment he realizes he inspires this kid, he's like, well, I'm a hero, like, truly. And I think everybody in their job can feel like that, but you are changing people's lives. I mean, look at this. Like, I'm here.
You're here
because of what y'all have done and showcased. Like, I feel very happy of the work that y'all do.
Well, we can't do it without you, so you got to keep making more movies for us, honestly. So, with that being said, are you making more movies for us? What's next on the horizon?
The dreaded what's next?
What's in the imagination next? Where are we going?
Either two worlds we're going into. One is an adult animated Aztec mockumentary.
I'm ready for it.
Like, imagine Abbott Elementary, but in Aztec times. It's so insane.
Amazing.
And then the second one is a video game world again. It stars a capybara and a toucan who live in this very like Super Mario Bros. Type level and world.
Yeah.
They get pulled out of their game and placed in each episode into new game genres. So it's them trying to adapt their new programming. And maybe sometimes a player one should take a backseat and be a player two. And maybe a player two wants to be a player one.
I'm ready for all of this. You're going to take us on into some many amazing worlds.
I just want worlds. You know, I want worlds where we can play and have fun.
And I honestly love that this, you know, the love of video games and your imagination is now moving into the moving image in a way that is just going to keep growing. So, well, listen, we're super proud of you, and thank you for bringing your film to us. Literally, he's so busy right now. He's flying to Lisbon tomorrow for another film festival because he's like all over the world right now, which is brilliant. So congratulations to you. But welcome to the New Filmmakers LA family.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy. Like,
Hey, everybody.
Thank you.